then might be, since we use sports analogies quite often, why don't we use another one this morning? That it's really unlikely that a sports team, or even a sport that plays with a sportsman or woman in a singular fashion, will embark upon a match without a plan. That they have studied their opponent, but more than that, they've studied the science of this game that they're about to engage in. That they know that if I do this, I will get this. If I am consistent, I will then be able to achieve a certain result. But more than that, they study their opponent and they know that this is where their strength is, this is what they're likely to do, and this is what I must do then to counter it or defend my position in order to secure a win. Do we see that these kind of things are happening for 2027 when an election is in the offing?
Thank you very much for that analogy. Take it a little further. Number one, you are supposed to know the opponent virtually in everything that you do, because we live in a competitive and competing world. You should know their strengths, you should know their weaknesses, but more fundamentally, you should also know yourself, know also your strengths, acknowledge your weaknesses, and recognize the opportunities that both sides present. So when you look at 2027, my interpretation is that, one, there are two competing sides, so to speak, very broadly, that there is the current dispensation, and then there are those who would presume to want to succeed them, and that they would be eyeing one another. And so let me start with the incumbent, that there is President William Ruto, who is assembling around himself a battalion. He starts with some of those he had, but there are also some he has lost and who have become part of the opposing squad. I would presume that he probably understands them, but they would also understand him. And I think that he is tempted to understand them from the perspective that they may not have access to the kind of state resources and the wherewithal that he has. And so he's engaging them in attrition, financial attrition, one could even say. How do we explain the ongoing early campaigns? He's moving from county to county to the next county and going back to the counties where he was a few weeks ago. I think the objective is to run them out of financial steam, assuming that he has understood them very well, and expecting that they will run out of money, not out of ideas as such, but out of money to fund their own going campaigns. Because you see, the president is the state. He has the state, and like Louis XIV famously said, the state is me and I am the state. So he can convert every governance opportunity to a political occasion and use it to self-congratulate himself for both real and imagined achievements. And meanwhile, the opposition is running also all over the place, following him where he has been, trying to rebut and negate and reconstruct what he has said, deconstruct and reconstruct. So in a sense, that is correct. But have they understood the president, if I flip the coin to the other side? If they had, they would understand that he's engaging them in these Fabian, they would call them Fabian tactics, after Fabius Maximus, who was an ancient Greek general. and he used the strategy of wearing out
the opponents.
The opponent. Muhammad Ali used the same in boxing, wear out the opponent and then floor him or floor her. They understood that because here is a president who is perpetually on the rustings, congratulating himself, as we say, for both real and imagined achievements, launching and relaunching the same things that were launched some time back, some by himself, others by governors and so on. I think the political position has most certainly failed to remember some very basic things. One of them is that achievement is measurable. And success is also measurable. And that there would be a template that you are using to measure success. That, for example, if it is an exam, there would be a syllabus. And next to the syllabus would be a marking scheme. And it's expected that the syllabus was covered. And the questions that have been asked, each has got a marking scheme. And the marking scheme has got answers that the examiners, and therefore those who have prepared the marking scheme, will say the candidates are supposed to know the following. The correct answer would read as follows. It would include the following components. And then they would say, give extra marks for this and that. What is the marking scheme or the template in this case? The marking scheme and the template that I expect the political opposition to be using would be a marking scheme that says, wait a minute, President William Ruto is saying he has done this, he's done the other one, and he's done I don't know what. Where are the 47 charters that he signed with the counties? Each county. Walk him through those charters, county qua county, county after county. You are in Kitui on such and such a date. You signed a charter with the people of Kitui. You said you are going to do the following 16 things. Tick them off one box after the other. Move from Kitui, go to Makueni, come to Machakos, come to Nairobi, go to Nakuru, go to Kericho, all the way go to Uasin Gishu, West Pokot, and so on. That way, you start now disrupting President William Ruto, because the president clearly is avoiding being audited. And audits are very, very dangerous things for politicians, because you are now telling them this was your promissory card. If you're talking about jobs are countable, they are measurable. You don't just wake up and you tell us you have created 800,000 jobs, you have created 3 million jobs. Where are the taxes are measurable. Cost of living is measurable. Factories in Kakamega, where we were promised 3, are measurable. You can say where they are. Mumia's sugar factory is measurable. Pan paper mills is measurable. 1,000 kilometers of bitumen roads is measurable. You must say where they are. When you talk about SHA, it is a lived experience. It is measurable. All these things are auditable. And so, have you understood the opponent? No. Finally, I must say something about this headline in today's Standard, Ruto's bogeyman. And the editors say that with Mount Kenya voting bloc seemingly defiant towards President Ruto's efforts, re-election efforts, his point men are pointing fingers at Uhuru Kenyatta, and they're accusing him of funding the opposition. Not necessarily go into the merits or demerits of that, but it would suffice to observe that this lends credence to our thinking that President William Ruto is engaging the opposition in attrition.